Hello, hello. Happy May, everybody. Oh. I'm so excited. It's crazy that it's May, honestly. But at the same time, oh my goodness, what a massive, crazy 4 months it's been. And I'm so excited to interview Tommy and Q today. I've been blessed to know them and to hear their story a few times and to share stages and all the things. Just love them. Yes, one of my favorite couples. Exactly, Stephanie. Okay, so Tommy and Q, I want y'all to just take it over, just kind of start with how you ended up with Thrive, and kind of just go from there because not everybody knows your story.
Okay, so hello everybody.
Stop being all shy.
Hi everybody. Okay, so how we ended up with Thrive. So I was the head team mom at the football field over here in our town. And I met another woman and we clicked immediately. We found out we both moved here to Georgia the same time. We found out we were actually neighbors. We lived right across, our subdivisions were right across the street from each other, corner house, and neither one of us have family here in Georgia. So we decided to do Christmas together. She came over and I saw her DFT and I asked her what it was. And she's just like, Thrive, you want to try it? And I was like, sure, what is it? And she was like, vitamins. And I was just like, oh, I really wasn't a vitamin taker. I didn't take vitamins since Flintstone Kids. I had like one a days up in the cabinet that I never took before. But then she said it'll give you energy. And at that time, I was doing anything to fuel my busy schedule, because before Thrive, I was taking 2 5-hours and a Red Bull and coffee in between every single day, 2 naps a day, or 2 5 hours in a Red Bull or 2 Red Bulls in a 5-hour. I always got my 2 naps in a day. And I just felt like a married single mom because Tommy was a truck driver at the time. He was gone all the time. Tommy and I have 4 children together, and I was working a full-time job. I was, part of the PTA. I was head team mom, plus the team mom for my football team. And so I did fill up my schedule because I was that yes mom, like, yes, you can have the sleepover. Oh, sure, your kids can stay the night, but I was just always tired. So I was doing these things to fuel my day. So when she said it'd give me energy, I was like, sure. Well, she gave me the sample and it still sat on my counter for about 2 weeks. And I kept saying, I have to look it up. I have to look it up. And then
research it.
I have to research it, and I never did. And so I have another girlfriend who came over. She saw the sample on my counter and she was like, where did you get Thrive? My sister swears by that stuff. And I was like, really? And before I knew it, her sister was in my inbox, giving me directions on how to take it. And I was a day one Thriver. I have not done any 5 hours, Red Bulls, coffee, or taken 2 naps a day since day one. And I always say, like, I think God, this was just my path. This was my journey. Like, this is the direction God wanted me to go, because I received a lot of those benefits that take some people a long time in my first 3 days. I was sleeping through the night, which I hadn't even realized I was waking up in the middle of the night until I started Thrive, but I was sleeping through the night. My patience with my kids just got so much better. I wasn't yelling at them. And I used to be a yelling mommy. And it's like my favorite benefit of Thrive was the fact that it made me not a yelling mommy, because I never wanted to be that type of mom, but I was just tired and I felt overworked and overwhelmed, and I was oversleeping every morning, and I'd be yelling at the kids to hurry up and get ready and to get us out the door. And I was kind of just rushing through my kids' life, like just waiting for the minute that I can just put them in front of something and get some rest. And Thrive changed that for me in my first 3 days. And so I clicked the promoter button, but I didn't click the promoter button to start a business. I clicked the promoter button for more products. So this was 6 years ago. Our products used to be $190 a pack. And while I went through those 3-day samples, I kept knocking on my girlfriend's door, like, can I have some more? Can I have some more? And she was just giving it to me because she was a customer herself. She didn't care. She just was like, oh yeah, here's some more, here's some more. And then guilt set in that I was using up all her products. So I went ahead and went in the cloud and I saw that the packs were $190 a piece. And I was like, well, Tommy's my best friend. We do everything together. I'm like, if I'm doing this, you're doing this with me.
She made me do it.
I'm like, it just makes more sense to buy the 400 pack. So I used my light bill money and I ordered a 400 pack with the thought in mind that I'd have enough for me, I'd have enough for Tommy, and I'd have some left over for just in case we couldn't afford it at the end of the month. Starting a business was just never on my mind. She would say things to me like, my girlfriend has a car. And I'd be like, oh yeah, that's nice. And she'd be like, it's a whole business you can run. And I'd be like, oh, well, then we should do it. But it was just like, it was just conversation. It was useless conversation. And so, you know, to kind of speed up along how we ended up really, truly promoting, I had a girlfriend who took some of my product and she tried it and she ordered it on her 3rd day. And that's when I had people reaching out to me like, you can earn your light bill money back. And I desperately needed to earn my light bill money back. So I started to listen. Once she ordered, I started to pay attention to the things she was saying to me. And I did. I earned my light bill money back. And we kind of like toyed around with the business. Like we would get people on it, but we were just making sales. We weren't really like building a business. We were making sales. And one night we got on a call and it was Paul and he kept saying, all roads lead to Dallas, all roads lead to Dallas. And even though we couldn't afford it, we hung up that call and we looked at each other and we were like, are we going to Dallas? And Tommy was like, I guess so. And you know, we booked tickets to go to our first Thrive Palooza. And that's where I believe that we both like kind of caught a vision that this was something that was real. Tommy, you want to just give a little bit of
Sure.
how you got started
Well,
and everything?
I mean,
Well,
they know how I got started. You bought a pack and said you're going to take this, but
I did make him take it.
she bought a promoter pack, you know, not with the intention of kicking off a business, but with the intention of I have enough, like you said, enough for her and enough for me to try. And if we, you know, next month we'll have enough left over. But, you know, she knew I needed it because of the, you know, the lifestyle that I had was, you know, I was a truck driver / mover for like 19 years. And, you know, mornings were hard for me. At the age of 34, mornings were hard. Getting up out of the bed every morning, you know, trying to get my knees and my ankles to cooperate the right way was a struggle. So, you know, she knew I needed the product, and I was doing the same thing. I was drinking the coffee, drinking Red Bulls. I actually put her onto the 5-hour energies. Don't even go there.
It was an addiction.
Don't go there.
He got me addicted.
Well, that's what best friends do. That's what best friends do. But she, you know, I started the product because I saw the impact that it had on her in those first 3 days. And I'm like, man, if this stuff is really doing what she's saying is doing, it's definitely legit, because she was like a whole new person in 3 days. She was like a whole new person. So, you know, but the crazy thing is when we got the product in, I didn't have the same result. I was like, you know, expecting this energy boost and being, you know, she would come home from work and be in a good mood. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go then. And then, you know, I got mine and it was like day 1, nothing. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nothing. And then every day she's like, do you feel it? Do you feel it? I'm like, no, this stuff is trash. This stuff is garbage. And it wasn't until day 8 that I got up that morning and everything changed. I got up out of the bed, stood up on the side of the bed by myself without even looking, you know, not even like paying attention to what was happening. I was just standing there. And then I think it just hit me that like, you just got out the bed. So I'm standing there. It's like probably like 5:30 in the morning. She's already up ironing her scrubs, got her headphones on at the ironing board. And she just kind of turns around and looks at me and she's like, what's wrong? Because I'm standing there probably like looking shocked.
I always had to help him to the bathroom. He never got out of the bed on his own.
Yeah.
I always had to help.
So
like,
I'm standing there, you know, with that shock look on my face, and she's like, "You're thriving, you're thriving." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." But I went to work that day, and we had a super long, strenuous day. It was probably about 13, 14-hour day, delivering 12,000 pounds to a third floor apartment. And on days like that, like, I come home and I go crash on the couch, like, just that simple. I come home, go in the house, grab a beer, crash on the couch. She'll wake me up like around 9:30, 10 o'clock and say, "All right, let's go upstairs." And, you know, that day I came home, I got out the car, my boys were in the street playing basketball, and I just, without even thinking, I just went over to them and just started playing basketball, like just shooting the hoop. I wasn't playing like real basketball, you know, I was just like, you know, shooting the ball. But that was different for me on, you know, after having a long day. And it didn't really hit me until later on that night. You know, me and Q were up, and it was probably like 10:30, and I'm like, man, I had a long day. I still feel good. I'm still in the bed. I'm in a good mood. I'm up talking to Q, and it's past 10 o'clock and everything, you know, and, you know, like, being able to come home and be a dad still and do the things that, you know, most dads like to do with their boys, like, that was a big benefit for me. So that's how we got started with the product, and going to Thrive, that first Thrive Palooza, man. I'll tell you, that was like the eye opener for me as to what this opportunity was. I didn't really know too much about the company. I didn't know too much about the business. I didn't even know it was network marketing. How about that? I didn't even know this was a network marketing company. I just knew the products were good, and Paul sounded like somebody that I would like to meet. That's when I got on the call. So we went to Thrive Palooza, and man, if you've been to Thrive, drop if you've been to Thrive Palooza. Hopefully everybody on here has been to a Thrive Palooza. If you've been to Thrive Palooza, drop a 1. If you haven't, drop a 2. Been to 3 of them. Yes, like Thrive Palooza, man. If you've been to a Thrive Palooza, then you know, like, the energy that's there is just like, it's unreal. It's not something you see on an everyday basis. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead, you about to say something?
No, I was gonna say, I remember we walked in and I looked at Tommy and I was like, where has this been all our life? Like, what in the world is going on?
Like, who are
Because
these
there were
humans?
just so many people, they were just so happy, and people were like sharing their story with us. And we were like, this is like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
because this was 6 years back. So social selling wasn't as huge as it is now. Things were a lot different. We did a lot of things by text and phone call and in-person meetups. Like, I remember the team, like, they were like, have a living room local, like, invite people over. You know, this wasn't something that we saw online, and we were both, you know, always raised to kind of stay away from things like this. Like, oh, don't do that, stay away from things like that. It's a pyramid scheme. So both of us were just like in awe when we got there, because the energy alone was just so great.
And I think, you know, the biggest impact that Palooza had on me was, you know, if you've been, you see at the end where they call all the LV millionaires and the 200Ks up on the stage. And I'll never forget, it was rank advancement bonus time. And I think me and Q had earned a 4K rank advancement bonus. And Jason says he calls all the 200Ks up on the stage. And I'll never forget seeing that line. This is the top rank of the company. And I'll never forget seeing that line start from the stage and going all the way to the back of the room. It was mind-blowing to see that many people be at the top rank of the company. I'm like, and I mean, listen, I don't judge people. I don't judge people by their appearances, you know, but when I saw the people that were in line, I'm like, if that person can do it, I know I can do it. If that person, I'll say, oh yeah. I said, they got the same, like, in my mind, I'm like, they've got the same products that we love. They've got the same, this is the same company that we're a part of. So if they can do it, I know I can do it. And then even for me, I tell you guys, seeing, I think that year, was it that year? It might've been that year or the next year. Either way, seeing it was Rodney Foster and Gary Simmons being the only 2 Black guys on that stage. That painted a picture for me, like, okay, like, it can be done. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we came back home and I was like, let's go.
I love that. I'm going to interrupt y'all really fast because I want to kind of go back because I love something that stood out to me. And I don't know that I've caught this in y'all's story before. But we are talking about fiber energies and Q, and you said he got me addicted. Y'all, like, think about that.
Stop saying that.
He got me.
But no. But follow me here for real. All y'all, 70 people on here, all y'all follow me for just a second. That is something that it's normal and common and accepted in our society. Oh, she got me addicted to the caramel macchiato. Oh, she got me addicted to Firefly Lane on Netflix. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, got me addicted to Judy Blue Jeans. Listen, I'm guilty of all these things. Got me addicted to this new body lotion. Oh, it's the best. You got to try it out. This clothes, this candle, this, jewelry line. Kinder Scott, my friend Q got me addicted. It's normal and accepted in society. So why is it that we hold back so much in sharing Thrive when they could be addicted to feeling like a better person? I think we need to run with that. Like, it's not a shameful thing to help people feel better and to be like, she got me addicted to feeling good.
Oh, I like it. I'm stealing it.
We can't say addicted to Thrive per compliance issues, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's socially acceptable to be like, she got me addicted to Hershey's Kisses, whatever, right? So change your mindset on these things. So that I just wanted to kind of jump in there on that one. And then again, Thrive Palooza, y'all, we're doing tons of, everybody's been doing recaps. Maria is, if you saw the corporate one last night with Jackie, it was so bomb. That one was on creating a culture, and it was actually one I didn't get to see in person. So I was super excited to get to watch it last night. And if you missed it, I'm sure, cross my fingers because my screen recording didn't work out, that corporate will be doing a replay of these. And then tonight, Maria, Team Thrive Nation Zoom. I think it's thrivenationzoom.com actually is the website. 7:30 Central Time, the comeback, how to get unstuck in your business. That's Tommy, Brittany, myself, and Dana Chuba. So there's tons of leaders are doing recaps all over the place. Yep. So plug in. But yes, guys, and we've said it before, make sure you're getting to Thrive Palooza. Start planning now. It's kind of like Christmas, right? It happens every year. Don't let it be an emergency. Don't let it be, oh my God, it's Christmas already. Well, December 25th, every year. So Thrive Palooza, usually April, May, every year. Start planning now. If you save $10 to $15 a week, whether you got to get that cash out of your check, whether you got to get, however you have to do that, Venmo yourself, I don't know, is that a thing? But put that into one space, a shoebox, whatever, but you'll literally have more than enough to not only buy your Thrive Palooza ticket, buy your travel, but also for spending while you're there. So literally 10 to 15 bucks a week, y'all. That's it. You'll more than have that. So, okay. Tommy Q, let's talk right now. Let's talk. All right, here we are, 2023. I don't even know how we got here. Post-COVID, getting back to normal, peopling in person, all the opportunities to get back to what we used to do. It's May. We know some kind of bonus structure is coming out. We don't know exactly what it is. What are y'all doing right now with your teams? How are you keeping that momentum coming off of April?
You want me to start?
I'll wait,
Listen.
Well, I'll say this, the momentum I feel like in our team has always been there. It's just now with these new products and these new launches, guys, like I'm trying to figure out a way how I cannot be a creeper and promote this HDS system. Because ladies, seriously, if you are not promoting this HDS system every single day, you are missing out. I mean, just from some of the reviews that I'm seeing, like, yes, I'm promoting. I have no shame. I'll tell you that. I
He
have,
has no
I
shame.
have no shame when it comes to promoting. Like, listen, Lavelle was so gracious enough to let me create a promoter account with them. So I will promote every single item that they come out with no shame.
So tell them how you're doing it.
So I'm actually using humor to promote the HDS from a male standpoint. Because I can't be in ladies' inboxes like, hey, so you going through that change yet? Or, you know, so I'm using humor as a way to promote the HDS system and kind of just talking about what, other females are noticing. But guys, we have HDS, we have Rebuild, a new skincare line, and Duo Elite coming out. Like, that's how you create momentum. We have new products to talk about, and not to mention the results from Thrive Elite. So using what we already have and what they just came out with, to promote, so I'm a sample person. I love to sample. Q has a love-hate relationship with samples, so I'm always encouraging our team, get those samples out. I call them what did I call them? Samples are my sales team.
Yes, your sales team.
Every sample that I send out is a representative of the Tommy Tidwell Foundation going out to make sales. So every sample that I send out is a sales rep.
And people who have stopped, let me just give you guys this because it's such a great idea. And we have had drivers come back from that. We made stickers that say, in case of emergency, break glass. And we put them in clear. We made samples with clear packaging, and we sent them out to old customers who stopped driving. And there have been people who messaged us with the picture like, okay, I'm opening this today. And we've had people start up again because sometimes, life takes over and people stop. And it's just them remembering that feeling. So a lot of those went out. And people go through different seasons of life. And, you never know when this product is going to come through for someone. So that I want to just say that, like, if you find that you have people who have stopped, that was a really fun, creative way where all they could do was laugh, and then they held on to it until they needed it. So
especially if it's a new mom. I sent one to an old customer who had just had a baby. I sent her one of those in case of emergency break glass. And like 2 weeks later, she ended up ordering again. So just finding creative ways to still promote the Thrive experience, but also taking advantage of these new products that we have. And, we have guys exposing people daily to the Thrive experience creates momentum. If you're,
Well,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, let's talk about exposing people to the experience. Let's talk about that because in case of emergency, break glass, like a fire extinguisher.
Yes.
Break glass.
it was the actual, like, I Googled the emergency.
Yeah.
And I made stickers.
That's so cute. I've seen people make posts way back, probably before y'all were here, way back, make a post that had the little fire and inside was Thrive. So it was really cute. But okay, so exposing people to the experience. Remember that, and so it's hard, at least for me, because we've added so much in social media that I feel like just added on over the years. And before it was, I just posted on Facebook. Oh, well, then here's Instagram. Okay, so I'm posting on Facebook and I'm posting on Instagram. Oh, wait, now there's stories. Okay, so I'm posting in my stories. Oh, wait, and reels. Okay, I'm doing reels and I'm putting them over here and then, all the things. But the important thing to remember is, while, yes, do what you're comfortable with, but people need to see not just in stories. They do need to see all the things, because there are still people, and especially people my age. So I'm the demographic of HDS. Okay. I'll be 48 this month. Like, I'm the demographic. So my friends, people my age between 30 and 55, not all of them do stories. They don't even click stories. Like, I'm a super smart corporate woman, top ladder at Walmart friend. And she is like, what stories? Like she scrolls Facebook and she's done. She posts some soccer pics of her kids. She scrolls and comments and she's done. And so that is super important to remember, that you want to do both. You want to sprinkle Thrive everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'll always say okay, because I don't want to talk about HDS on my feed. I'll talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it. Right. So I'll say, women, check out my stories, and then I'll put it in my stories. So what are y'all how it can be overwhelming. So what do you teach for people for that?
So I'm very huge. And if somebody needs something, just reach out to them. And that's just what it is. So just an example, HDS came first day. I packaged up a 5-day sample. I called my girlfriend. I said, listen, I'm on my way to your house. She said, I look a mess. I said, I don't care. I'm on my way. And we went to her house and she invited us in and we sat at the table and I said, take these 2 capsules. I made her take them. And probably about 10 minutes in, she's like, I feel warm. I feel happy energy. I watched her, we both watched her change right then and there. And so I left her with that 5-day sample and she ordered on day 2. She ordered the very next day. And so I am very big on, if you know someone who just needs something, there is nothing wrong with reaching out and having a conversation. And you don't have to do, I think when people reach out, they think of the hey girl message. We already all know not to do that. I reach out to someone and I'm like, hey, I saw your post where you were complaining about this. I have something that might help you if you're open to it. I think that verbiage plays a huge factor when you're reaching out to people. No one wants to say they're not open to anything. And so I've never had anybody say, no, I'm not open to it. No, they're usually show me what you got. And so from there, of course, I get the free account, but I add it to our customer group. And so the customer group for us is a huge part of our business and exposing people because they are constantly seeing news stories and reviews in the customer group. But if they're not on social media, another way is just to reach out and talk to them. I mean, I think so many people are afraid to reach out and just say, hey, I have something that can help you. And I feel like there's not enough of that. And I'll even say today, we went to breakfast this morning. We went to breakfast. We sat down, they put us next to this table and the guy looked over at Tommy and said, what's Thrive Elite? He had on the Thrive Elite hat. And Tommy said, it's a nutritional system. And I mean, we had a full conversation with this guy. He handed us his business card. He's like, please, I want to know more about this. Tommy signed him up a free account. And he's like, I'm definitely interested. I'm going to get into that. So I think it's also about getting out a lot. If you work from home and you're not getting out, finding ways to get out and expose, get out and meet people and expose them to what you have to offer, because you just never know who you're going to meet. And you don't know what people are suffering with behind closed doors. So if you reach out and start the conversation, you just may change someone's life like that.
I was, like she said, for us, exposure for us is allowing people to see other people's testimonies. How many times a day can you expose somebody to somebody else's story? If you can expose on a consistent basis, expose someone who's never heard about Thrive to other people's stories and testimonies, you will start to see your business go in a different direction. It's all about exposing people, because a lot of people do not know about Thrive. As crazy as that might sound to us, there's a lot of people who have no clue what Thrive is.
So one other thing I did that I don't know if this even makes a difference, but I went in the Facebook search bar and I just put in menopause. And I clicked post, and it came, all my friends who have ever posted about any symptoms of menopause came up. And I reached out to them about this product. So that's another thing you can do is I searched menopause and perimenopausal. And it's funny because even I guess a while back, Blair Critch must have posted about something that had to do with perimenopausal and menopause, and her post even came up. So if they're in your network anywhere, whether they're your friend or not your friend, if you put in that word in the search bar, anything that's ever been mentioned on Facebook that was a post, you can click post, anything that was mentioned comes up. So
Yeah, and let's touch on that for a hot second. My recommendation, if y'all are doing that, because that's actually how I find posts when I'm needing a memory jogger of things. I know I posted something, I'll type it in the search bar and then divide by source, or filter by source. So I can, I know I posted it, or I know a friend posted it, or whatever. But if you do that and filter friends, that way you'll actually have people in your network. Now, you can do people that aren't your friends, but I would not go just cold message them.
No.
I would create the relationship, like friend them or something. So I don't want anybody hearing us wrong here, because I literally can see some people just be like, search menopause and just about, hey, menopause in 20
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That is the fastest way to get invited to the block party.
So just hear us on that. Don't cold message random people you don't know. But yeah, menopause, hot flashes, perimenopause. Like there's a ton of stuff. You could just even put hormone imbalance, like and there are people in my demographic that are definitely needing what we have. And I will say too, so this is funny, and it's just going to be here and then wherever the recording gets posted. But so, okay, because there's some women thrivers that have been posting about the bedroom side of HDS. Okay. So here, I think I'm on like day 2. Jason rolls over. He's like, so notice anything yet? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna block all the thriving women from his feed or something. Like, I don't need no expectations. So, but one of my promoters said, we were talking about that, and she said, oh my gosh, all these posts about it. She goes, men are going to be buying this for their wives. Women that don't want to thrive with us, their husbands are going to be like, hey babe, I got you. I got you this. So, but just remember too, like, hormone balancing doesn't always mean just in the bedroom. Like there's so much, like as a woman, like moodiness and other things, and for it to level that out. So make sure that you're just sharing all the things you're noticing.
Yes.
I shared that part. It's funny because I am not experiencing that. For me, I usually wake up like sweaty, like I wake up sweaty, and I wake up in the night and I haven't. So that's what I've been sharing. Like, it's going to do what you need. I don't need help in that department. So I'm not getting help in that department. And so it is like, share authentically. But I mean, I have screenshot and cropped out some of other people's posts and put them through my stories just so people can see it, because you want people to see all sides of it. And sometimes it takes for you to have the courage to talk about it, for them to have the courage to open up.
And then to remember that it just because it's working quickly for others doesn't mean it's not working for you. We're talking about women's bodies, like nothing is microwave, like everything. There are things that will take a while. So just remember that and keep taking it consistently, like you do your Thrive. And you'll start to, it's kind of, I kind of chalk it up to like what is it, like Move Pro and Expand, how it's not an instant feeling. So while some may notice things instantly, and some that are thriving, like Q, when you were talking about your friend, was she thriving or no?
She's not thriving.
Okay. So I kind of wonder if somebody that's not thriving would notice things faster, like how she did, versus we're already used to feeling good. We just also have other things going on. So kind of, everybody's gonna be different. So
everyone is going to be different. And I've been checking on her. So she's like on day 3 or 4, I guess that was 3 or 4 days ago. And I actually checked on her this morning, and she said she's still experiencing that sense of euphoria a couple of hours after taking the capsules. But that's it. That's as far as it's gone for her. But she loves it because it's a non-hormonal approach. And because cancer runs in her family, she can never do hormones. So that's another thing. There are things that people like, I'll say this, there are a ton of things and reasons why people will start this product, not just for sex drive or something like that. Like really dig into all the things that are hormones. Like the fact that she can never do hormones never would have even clicked for me had she not said that. So that made me dig in and look more. So whenever we have a new product come out, I really do dig into just whatever it's supposed to address and find out things about that issue. So I've been looking at things about hormones to learn more about it. Even with the colostrum drink, you know, I had a conversation with a woman at Thrive Palooza, and she said, you know, this can literally make the lining of your stomach as if you were a newborn baby come back. Like it can help. She said it's really going to help with the rebuilding of your digestive system. And she said for those people who have like, and this is going to be non-compliant, but please do not non-compliant all over the place. But if you've had customers in the past who have had like Crohn's or IBS or something like that, this is going to be a product that you would want to introduce to them. If they feel as though the Thrive experience is not helping them, not to cure. Okay.
Right.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's a product you wouldn't even think to introduce to anyone like that. Yes. And I mean, so I'm loving
it's
that.
good.
It tastes really
Tastes good. Well, and on that, to try to sound compliant, when you remember gut health and brain health are linked, and think about how many issues in society now, like in the whether it's focus, you know, or so many things. And so if this can help the gut, then it's helping the brain. And
Yeah.
so remembering that, you know, because I remember that is something, you know, back when my kids were babies and they're 17 and 20, but back when I was pregnant, and it was like, they were so adamant about the colostrum. It's the first, you know, it's the first part of when your milk comes in. And this is very, very important. And this is what's, you know, even if you formula feed, this needs to go to your baby, you know, all the things. And so Google, like I've just been telling people, like, go Google benefits of colostrum for adults, because I didn't know until that Friday night. I didn't know that was a thing. Like I didn't. I was like, I just thought it was the newborn thing. Like I didn't know.
And he said mammals. I'm like,
yeah, there was some fun conversations Friday night, let's just say. But as people that had recently had babies were like, wait a minute, isn't that? I'm like, yeah. But here's the thing. When I first went and Googled that, the first things, you know, because Google always shows you things for sale. The first things that popped up were already supplements for that specifically. And they were hella expensive. Like they were really pricey, and they were like tablets, you know? And so I was just like, wow, like one, it's affordable. Two, it's a drink. We know that things in drink and powder form are going to work faster than a pill or a tablet. So those are huge benefits of it as well. Okay. So we usually do an hour. You can, you know, because we end at pay time. But like y'all, what are some things on your mind to people on here, like running now? It's May 2nd. What are we doing? Where do we go?
so I'll say first, you know, I know, you know, rank advancement bonuses as far as we know ended last month. And I know, you know, a lot of people, if you ran hard for that goal and you didn't achieve it, I want you guys to realize and understand that, you know, this is still an amazing opportunity to where you have the opportunity to build this business to where every check is rank advancement bonus status. And right now, I don't know what they're going to drop. You know, I know everybody's probably waiting for the email to see what Lavelle's got up their sleeve, but guys, don't take advantage of this opportunity. We don't know what the future holds, but you don't want to look back 10 years from now and Lavelle be your biggest regret. I could have done more. I could have reached out more, because it's grow. Everybody doesn't know about Thrive right now, but it is growing like crazy. So in the next 2 to 3 years, more people in your area will know about the Thrive experience, and you're going to hate to see them thriving with your neighbor or your doctor or your friend that's a lawyer or somebody that you didn't think to reach out to. So going into the rest of this year, just go hard, go as hard as you can, expose as many people as you can to the Thrive experience. Like, get this product in as many people's bodies as possible. Like, that's my biggest tip to anybody is, how do I, and that's what I wanted to say tonight on the relaunch. Like, how do I relaunch my business? Like, get the product in people's bodies. It is that simple. Find a creative way to do it. Sample your way to 200K, but get this product in as many people's bodies as possible, because it is the best salesperson ever. So I'll leave you guys with that.
Well, let's talk samples then real quick. And then
Let's
we'll
talk
come back
samples.
to you. So, because everybody samples differently, and
Yes.
everybody, I guarantee you.
We sample differently.
We sample.
Oh, see? See?
Listen.
Well, you know what? So
I
did
got my
Jason and
own
I.
stash of Thrive that I.
Jason yelled at me if I sample his fudge brownie. He's like, no, that's mine. I'm like, order some more, dude. He's like, get off my
Because Tommy always tapping into my capsules and doesn't order them, and then we run out, and I'm not happy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so real life. So today, Jason said, did you not order my elite capsules? And I was like, yeah, I ordered your elite capsules. He's like, oh, I told you I need elite capsules. I'm like, yeah, I ordered them. Okay, well, I ordered them a month ago, and it's been so busy. It's already been a month. And so he's out, but he never told me with this second pack or this other pack, hey, I'm running low, and then he didn't, or, so I'm just like, oh yeah. Anyway, but let's talk samples. Since you both sample differently, because everybody's like, this is the one thing I hear probably the most. And I want to hear how y'all would handle it. I sample all the time. I've given away all my product. I don't hear anything back. It's all crickets. What do I do?
When I hear the only thing I heard you say is
Crickets.
the only thing I heard you say was, I've given away all my samples.
Yeah.
I've given away all my samples, and that is the biggest mistake. Yes, I very rarely charge people for samples if I'm reaching out to them, but I don't just give my samples away. Like, my samples, to me, there's value on it. So first of all, you have to have a free account. You have to be in our customer group. You have to watch the video of what Thrive is, so you understand what it is that I'm sending to your house. And then from that point, more than likely, you're going in a group chat with somebody else.
So to that, let me just say, don't sample out of desperation.
Yes,
because that's when you get ghosted. When you are trying to desperately get someone to take it, meaning they're already ghosting you a little bit, answering you here and there until the point of you giving the sample away. That's how they're going to act when they get the sample. So don't sample out of desperation, and remember that you have what they need.
Yep.
And I think that's all in mindset. You have to know that what you have is valuable. And you paid money for that, because when you're out of it, you're going to be upset. So put a little value on it. And Tommy, like he said, you have to be in a customer group and group chat and all this other stuff. Like, put some type of value on it. So if they can't pay money, how will they pay for the sample?
Yes.
Will they post about it? Will they, talk to their friends about it? Will they group you with 2 more people for it? But just don't do it out of desperation of really wanting someone to get it in their bodies and take it and thinking like once they have it in their hand, they're going to take it and love it. Because mine sat on my counter for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And there was no value placed on it. She was really like nonchalant about like, I'll give you energy. Like, here you go. You want it. So for me, I was just like, I can sit on the counter while I take my 5 hours in my Red Bulls, because I'm not looking for a change. Also, don't be emotionally attached. And Tommy always says this, don't be emotionally attached to the outcome. Because sometimes you have to remember, it's like, what was your mindset when you got started? It may not be you, like you take it personal, like they're not taking it, they're ignoring me, but really they just don't know what it's going to do for them yet. So you have to have patience with people, give people grace and give them time. I mean, it may sit on their counter for 2 weeks, but what if once they take it, they love it so much and then they blow up? you know? So just really think about that too. Like, don't be emotionally attached, because how you treat them from the point they're ignoring you to the point they take it, that's what they're going to base it. They may never take it because you're not reaching out to them in between, just asking how they are, or reaching out and talking to them in between. I personally, when I give someone a sample and they start ghosting me about it, I talk to them about other things. Like, I never gave them the sample. And then usually they're like, oh, take it on their own. And I'm like, oh girl, listen, mine sat on my counter for 2 weeks, but it was a game changer once I started. You know, you have to treat people well. Don't get pissy with them.
And use the relationships and the experience, like what your experience was. Like for me, I wasn't offered a sample. She was just reaching out about Thrive, and took a good 3 months. And then I finally placed my order because I saw how good she was feeling. I saw the other people's posts she was posting, how good they were feeling. And so I just ordered. But when I felt so good and I couldn't shut up about it, and people were like, oh, well, can I have a sample? And I immediately was like, well, sure. Because I was like, well, they're all going to feel as good as I did day one, day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm going to just give it all away, and I'm going to make like 1 billion sales. Like, this is awesome. That is not what happened.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened. So I've always said, do not give it out like packets of ketchup. Yep. Because what happens when you ask for ketchup at Whataburger or wherever, and they put like 20 ketchups in. If you use ketchup at all, you use one, right? Yeah. And then the rest goes in the trash. So you've got to add some value to it. I know people were talking, this is completely off topic, but same analogy. I think it was McDonald's when they started charging for their sauces. Like, you get one sauce with a chicken nugget. I don't think they do anymore. I think everybody got mad, but at one point you got one sauce with chicken nuggets. If you asked for a second sauce, it was 25 cents. Mm-hmm. And, but I'm like, because they know what's going to happen. Like, their cost margin goes down, that goes in the trash. You only need one anyway, so that is the same concept. And so you've got to add some kind of value. And I know Maria has been saying a lot lately, like, putting it out there that this comes from my personal product that I've purchased. Q.
I was going to say, you also have to find out why they need it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You have to find out why they need it. And then, I don't know, interview someone on your page who has a similar story like them, and that's all about exposure too, is like, put something in front of them that's going to give them that like gut punch, like, oof, maybe I do need to give this a try. So it's also how, like, once you give that product away, how are you showing up for the product? Like, how are you exposing it through your own stories or through other people's stories in front of them? But if you're giving away a sample and you don't even know why they need it, they don't know why they need it either. And it's just, there's no value there.
That's where for me personally, that's where I have the most success, is when I know, okay, this person's a tired mom, or this person needs help with this. So when I add them to our customer group, I know exactly what story I'm tagging them in. Hey, check this out. This any mom that has kids, I'm tagging them in Q's story. Q's story has closed more sales for me than anybody else's, because she gets emotional. It's like 3 years old, but they don't know that the story still relates to them. You know what I'm saying? So they're more excited about getting that sample, because now they're like, man, if this did that for her, I want to know what it's going to do for me. And some people are like, listen, I want to do 30 days. And
I get so many messages about my story.
I always tell them, like, listen, I tell them, like, it's just a sample. I don't know if you're going to feel anything. This is just to show you how easy it is. But if, I encourage everybody to do 30 days. And I have a lot of success with people like, okay, on day 2, they're like, all right, I'm ordering today. So don't just give your sample out with the hope that someone's going to love it and purchase because you gave them a sample. Show them the value of the product. When you can show somebody the value of what they have, they take it more seriously, even if it is a free sample. Because I give away free samples all the time. I'll tell you what, I had a girl I sent a sample to who sat on that sample for a year. And she watched me and Q. She watched our customer group. And I don't know, one day I followed up with her and she was like, she doesn't mind sharing this with the public, so I don't mind saying it. She was an alcoholic. And she told me like, this was, you know, Tommy, like, I really want to stop drinking. I really want to stop drinking. She's like, I'm going to start my sample tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be my day that I stop. I'm going to do my sample. Let me tell y'all, I interviewed her on my page. Like it was well worth waiting a year for her to take that sample. So sometimes God might use you to give that product to somebody just for that when they need it at the right time. So I'm not emotionally attached to samples. I know what this product can do for somebody if they decide to go, you know, full force into it. But I always want to show and build the value. And are you thriving out loud? Are you giving your samples away, but they come to your page, they don't even see you thriving? Show them what this product is doing for you every single day. And I'm not saying like, oh, come buy from me. No, show them you're out being a better mom, a better dad, a better husband, a better teacher, a better doctor, a better friend. Show them you're out, you know, just simple pictures of going out, me and Q going on a breakfast date this morning. That's showing people that we're thriving. We're not just sitting in the house. Are you out doing stuff with your kids? So give that sample, but show them why they need to take that sample.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. You know, it's kind of funny when you think about how like people are like, oh, I'm giving all these samples. If I think back just in my first year, the amount of samples I gave out, like selling them, giving however I got samples out the door, I started adding a price, you know, when I realized that the idea was turning very bad. But when I started selling them, so the amount of samples that went out, and to think that two of my $1 million producing legs came from samples. Would I give out another 100 samples to get one
$1
million leg leader? Yeah. So you never know. And I know somebody used to talk about it like this, like a deck of cards, you know, there's 4 aces. You never know if your first ace is going to be at the very beginning. Is it going to be in the middle? Where's the second, third? You know, you may have to go through the whole deck. You may get them right away. They may be all at the bottom. They may be very spaced out. That is the same for your promoters growing teams. You never know. And so with samples, you never know which one is going to be the one, the spaghetti that sticks to the wall, right? Like you never know which one is going to take off. So when I do it all over again, yeah.
I'll say this too, like if you know, our team started implementing that, you know, giving away 2 samples to our newest customer. If you're not using that strategy, guys, you are missing out. It allows you to, especially if it's a new thriver and they're excited about, you know, getting started, sample 2 of their closest people. Hey, your order came with 2 samples. Who do you want to send them to? Like, I've had so much success with that because they're like, the first 2 people they're going to think of is the 2 people that they talk to the most.
Or they say, are you going to send them to me? No.
So yeah, I'll dive into that too, but don't just send it to them because they're like, good, I got 6 more days. So, you know, there's a method to that too. Okay, your order came with 2 samples. Who do you want to send them to? Oh, let me think. Oh, I know my mom needs it, and I'm gonna get my best friend to do it. Okay, perfect. Get their emails. Okay, perfect. Add them to our customer group. Okay, perfect. Tag them in the video. They watched it. Okay, perfect. Connect us so I can send the sample out. I just walk them through on what it is that I do as a promoter. And they're just a customer that's just sharing this product with 2 friends. So if that conversation ever comes up about them becoming a promoter, they're like, I don't have time. I don't know what to do. Like you just
You're
did
already doing it.
You're already doing it. All you have to do is get them signed up with a free account, add them to our customer page, tag them in this video so they know what it's about, and get them connected to somebody else to answer their questions. That simple.
It really is that simple. Our minds make everything complicated. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for being on. Everybody that jumped on today, we appreciate you. Don't forget Maria's Zoom on strategies on the comeback, how to get unstuck in your business. I do think that's one of the things people say all the time. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. So I do think, and we are we're fun to watch, by the way. Like Q watched our last session.
It was the best.
We're fun to watch because we are not super like robotic. We very much just go with the flow off of each other. And so, we may go in a completely different direction tonight. You never know. But I can guarantee that it was God led. So, all right. Thanks everybody.
Thank you. Happy payday.
Happy payday, guys.
Bye, y'all.